The Purva Phalguni, let's look at the name first. The name Phalguni or Phalguni, as we call it, would represent Arjuna, right? Arjuna of the Mahabharata is the Phalguna. So we can understand that the last nakshatra, Magha, we started talking about Mahabharata ever since Aslesha has come in. We've talked about Balarama there in Aslesha. Then we talked about Duryodhana, Dhritarashtra in the last class. And we're talking about Arjuna here. So my sincere request to all of the students would be is do not opine that if we talk about Duryodhana, he's a villain, and if we talk about Arjuna, he's a hero. No, it's not like that. Only what we are trying to say is we are trying to depict the whole story, the Mahabharata, in several nakshatras so that it is easily relatable. And tomorrow, when you look at horoscopes, you can look at what negatives are there and what positives are there. Even in the Makha nakshatra, we've talked about a lot of positives that the person is reaching the throne, right? He's got many achievements in his life, so he is going to reach the throne. All right. So that would contain both, the what's his name, Duryodhana, and also the Yudhishthira, both. Okay. So from the south who do not understand who Yudhishthira is, we call him Dharmaraja. So you can have both Dharmaraja and the Duryodhana both in Magha. Similarly, do not think just by saying Phalguni you have only Arjuna. You can also have somebody who is standing opposite to Arjuna on the Adharma side. Okay. So never try to have, never try to opine that a single nakshatra is going to be all good or a single nakshatra is going to be all bad. You're going to get both the results depending on the planets that you're having and the kind of problems you might face, depending on the relationships the planets are making. Okay. As we do examples, the theory will be a lot clearer. Because the nakshatra stories are too big, we are not getting enough time to do examples. In the Telugu class, we took about a year's time to complete most of the nakshatras. And while the nakshatras are being taught, I have actually taken several pauses in between, like 5, 6 weeks. I have taught something else, then again restarted nakshatras. A few nakshatras are done, then we took a pause and did some other thing. What happened with that is the whole objective of having the understanding of nakshatras got diluted. So I do not want to have that happen here in the English class. Bear with me for the examples. Understand the concept first so that you're clear of what the nakshatras are offering. And then you can, if you are already into horoscope analysis, it's not a very great deal to understand what each nakshatra is doing. You will get some understanding of it, and any day you can polish it up with more experience. So Phalguni would mean Arjuna. Okay. So the other meaning for Phalguna is, he can also write that Purve Arjuna. Why it is not written as Purve Arjuna? It is written as Purve Phalguni, right? Or Purva Phalguni, as we colloquially call it. So it's because the name Phalguna would mean something. Phalguna is Phalguna. Phala is the fruit. Guna is the multiplier, right? So Purva is the Purva Janma, right? So the Janma which we have taken in the previous life, the kind of deeds that we have done in the past life, that's Purva, okay? Those are going to be multiplied and supplied as benefit. What we have done in the past life, we are reaping that in this life. That's what this nakshatra is all about. So if we have done good deeds in the past life, the nakshatra is going to perform excellently. If we did something bad in the previous life, there will be a few troubles coming out from this nakshatra. So there is no human being on this earth who will do only good or only bad. That can happen only in cinemas. So any person, for the karmas that he has done in the past life, there is going to be results with those deeds in this life. So a lot of people come back and ask, you know, if somebody is having a trouble with something, okay, just because there is something in the Purva Phalguni, people often come back and ask, why me? Why is this happening to me only? Why is it not happening to somebody else? A lot of people are doing lot of people are committing lot of sins, but I'm getting more punishment, then why not the others? That's because the nakshatra is so. You cannot find what you did in this life. These are unexplainable nakshatras that start with the term Purva. So one of that is Purva Phalguni, the other one is Purva Shadha, the third one is Purva Bhadra. If there is something that comes out from this as a bad result or a good result, both. So on the good side, on the better side, what happens is if somebody is enjoying a lot of riches, somebody is enjoying a lot of comfort, people will keep thinking, how come this person is getting so much of money, so much of comfort, despite having every odd thing, he's doing every odd thing in his life. How is he enjoying everything? Okay. So this can be one question. The other way of looking at it around is, how I have not done anything wrong in my life. Why am I getting a negative result? Okay. Both can be possible because this is a phala guna. That means the phalita is multiplied, right? Phalita is the result. Phala guna. So Argyamanaha Purve Phalguni Jaya Parastat Rishabho Avastat. Let us uh, let us look at the introduction of this. So the deity of the nakshatra, as we talk about every time, this is ruled by Aryaman. Aryaman. That's what the nakshatra, even the shloka or the mantra would start as Aryamana. So I would always encourage all the people who would listen to nakshatra classes to have a by heart of all these shlokas so that you don't have to run elsewhere. Just have the sloka, and into your memory, and you have the result right away. If you know the sloka, you can give the result right away for any horoscope that you have in your hand. At least you have the theme already established, and then you look into the divisional charts for confirmation. So eventually we will learn divisional charts as well and how to look at and take confirmation so that it's like a foolproof thing. Okay. And now we talk about Aryaman. So Aryaman is described like this. Whoever is familiar with the languages like which evolved from Sanskrit, like Telugu, Hindi, any of the Indian languages, if you have studied at school, when we write letters to the principal, आप एक खत लिखो principal को address करते हुए, we must have studied such things. So what would we address the principal? Arya, right? So Arya is a kind of an address saluting someone. So like we write respected sir, we write Arya. So that's this man, Aryaman, one who is seeking respect from everyone. That's the first thing to look about. So this person is seeking a lot of respect. Okay. So this may like you may look at two things here. So one, carrying a false ego about himself that he is a very big man. That's one thing. The second thing is, for whatever he is doing in his life, he's seeking a lot of respect. If respect goes, this person would think everything is gone. He may lose money, he would not worry about it. If respect is gone, this person would think everything is gone. Okay, that's what Aryaman would mean. Okay, because Arjuna has several times, we call it Garva Bhanga in Sanskrit. Arjuna has several times has belittled this man Duryodhana, and he has lost a lot of wars even before the Kurukshetra happened. Like, we celebrate Vijaya Dashami every time. And during the Virata Parva in the Mahabharata, before the Kurukshetra happened, Arjuna has, the Duryodhana has lost, the battle with Arjuna. Arjuna is a single man, and there are everybody on the other side for the Kauravas. Arjuna single-handedly won everyone. Okay. He did not kill any of them because he had his own, the Shapathas made, like the promises that were made by the Pandavas. Okay. So let's look at the other side of the Aryaman, that is the enemy of Yama. Ari means the enemy, and Yama means the Yama that came in Bharani Nakshatra. So this man simply saying Purva Phalguni Nakshatra does everything exactly opposite of what Yama does. Okay, very easy to remember. That is opposite of Yama. Ariyama is opposite of Yama. So what is Yama all about? Let's bring up Yama here. I'm showing up what is there in Bharani, so that let's just look at the traits. Maybe a few would be missing here. So right, continuously working is one of the traits of Yama. So what would the opposite would mean? Somebody who has studied for some time, worked for some time, broke the work, went back into studies once again, and then left studies, and then went back into work once again. This is one way of looking at it. The second way is somebody who's doing a job which is a contractual based. Okay, he does not have a permanent job. Like Yama is having a permanent job. He only does one thing. His job is to kill people or take the life out. Once the time is over, he's going to appear, take out the life, and move away. That's the job of Yama. This man is doing five, six kinds of jobs. Okay, not a single job. Okay, that's one, the other way of looking. Third thing is he's on a contractual based job, not a single job. I mean, every year the contract renews. It's not a permanent job. That's another way of looking at it. I mean, don't think a contractual based job is always a small one. Okay, there can be film stars who sign a contract for 100 crores today. I mean, look at the kind of movies people are making. He can be a cinema star, wherein he earns based on the collection done. Okay, you can look at that as a contract because they're going to sign a contract that look, we are making this movie. Let's get into a contract and let's sign on the left you and on the right I, and let's make money. So it can be a big thing as well. I mean, the moment we look at contracting, people would have an opinion that contract based job would be a small one. No, it's not like that. It can be either way around. Okay, and one is that thing. And second is somebody who's taking breaks in between, who is not going to office every day, who would go to office for about maybe 3 years or 4 years, gets boredom, right? Because Yama does not get any boredom in his life. He is going to repeat the job every day and day out. What his job is, he would look at what Brahma has sent for him. Okay, this man, his ayush or his life will be ended on a particular date at a particular time. His job is to come here, take the life, and go away. He keeps doing this every day and day out. Okay, he would not look at it's a routine job, boredom in the routine job, and things like that. He is happy doing a routine job. Whereas Ariyama, the person whom we are talking about right now in Purva Phalguni, gets bored very easily. Okay, and he wants something very, very new every day. Okay, this can be another trait, the fourth one. Uh, I mean, if you keep talking like this, it can go for hours. But I would want to do this because there's so many people who attend my Telugu classes. I don't think I have explained this in detail for them as well. So the other way of looking at us, continuously working without break. So I've given you four different examples. You can go back and forth and try to understand what that would mean. And then you have differences with mother, death of mother or stepmother in case of Yama, because Yama did not like his stepmother, so he had two mothers, and he had differences with the mother and as well with father. Because if you look at the Bharani Nakshatra, it has also got Saturn as another planet. I mean, as another deity who comes up in Bharani, because Saturn is also born in Bharani. Saturn did not go well with his father. So even now, Sun and Saturn are, enemies, dire enemies. So Bharani is against the parents, whereas Aryaman is exactly opposite of it. No matter what the parents say, this person would keep serving the parents. He would be there for them always. Phalguni, both the Uttara Phalguni and the Purva Phalguni, are there at serving the parents, because Arjuna, what has he done? He he did not rule the kingdom by himself. He gave all the kingdom, whatever he has won, to Yudhishthira, the elder brother of him, whom he treated like his father. And also, he always wanted his mother to be happy, right? He always did what his mother wanted. He brought a woman, Draupadi, after winning her in the Swayambara. After having got her, he walked up to his mother and asked her, "What do I do with a girl?" So she said, all five of you part the girl." So they made a wife of for all the five. So I mean, if you try to look at all those things, he's only trying to be very friendly or trying to be obedient of what the elders are saying in the family. Okay, so these people are obedient. Both the Falgunis, the Purva Phalguni and the Uttara Phalguni, they are highly obedient, and they would want their parents to guide them continuously and be on their side. Sometimes what happens is, even if there are differences with mother, even if there are differences with father, they are not going to leave them. They will always stand by them. I mean, today they might be quarreling. Let's suppose at 5 o'clock in the evening they quarrel with each other. It may look like a big war. They may not unite again. But interestingly, what happens is these people come back and unite once again. Okay, within hours, not even a long time. Okay, in case of Bharani, what happens is the relationships are very strained with the mother. So if there is a problem with the mother, there is a strained relationship with the mother, it's very difficult for the person to actually settle scores and move on. It doesn't happen very easily with Bharani. But in case of Purva Phalguni, the parents are very important for them, and they may keep quarreling between them. It's not like Arjuna never had any opinion differences with Yudhishthira and so on, but they had a few differences. However, they always realized that they are working for Yudhishthira and they have done their job. So you have to look at it in that angle. And the other biggest important trait of Yama is not interested to meet anyone in the world. Okay, because he is very busy with his job. He only would meet spirits or souls. He would not have an office wherein somebody would come and meet him, or he's not going to go out and, okay, I have come on a vacation. I'm going to meet someone today. I've taken an off today. That would never happen with Yama, because he's constantly killing one or the other person, or he's trying to do his job constantly without taking any vacation in his life. So, what is the exact opposite of it? This person would need a lot of breaks in between. So, he has a career wherein there is a lot of breaks in between. He wants holidays in between. Applies for a lot of holidays. I mean, you can make your own way of looking at it depending on the planets. When you add more planets into it and the houses into it, it would shape up the way it has to. Okay, and does not want to meet anyone would mean this person, the Phalguni, the Purva Phalguni, is highly looking at meeting people. I mean, not as much in the Uttara Phalguni, a little bit can be there with the Uttara Phalguni as well. But Purva Phalguni is there, meant to be there only for meeting people. I mean, they are going to make very good salesmen. What is the job of a salesman? His job is to meet clients. Okay. So if you are trying to employ a person who has got a very, very good Bharani, super active Bharani, and make him a sales manager, it will be a disaster. He would not meet anyone because he doesn't want to meet you. Okay. A very active Bharani doesn't want to meet people. Very active Purva Phalguni, very happy to meet people. He would talk very well. And because Bharani is a very straightforward person, he does not want to extend the relationship. He would want to cut it there itself. One meeting, okay, fine. You have come and meet. You want to come and meet me. Fine, okay, come, but don't disturb me and tell me quickly what is that you want. Okay, now done. Fine, thanks. Bye. Never meet me again. That's how Barney would deal with. Okay. However, Aryaman is a person who is going to extend the relationship over and over again. He would collect the phone number of the person. He'll keep talking to him, keep sending him messages, hello, hi, and stuff like that. Okay. And Bharani is dependent on others. That means, if you let's suppose, I'm not very sure if you remember the Bharani discussion that we have done long back. So Bharani is the destruction star. So if you look at Yama, this man is going to kill only if there is creation. So Brahma is going to write. So we always call Vidhata, right? So somebody who is writing the fortune, or when he is going to be born and when he is going to die. It is not Yama who is deciding when a person has to die. It is Brahma who is deciding a person when he has to die, but executed by Yama. So Yama is always dependent on Brahma, right? So this person, Yama, is always dependent on his boss. So his boss has to give him instructions. Look, this man's time is over. Now you have to go and get his life. Okay, that's how Yama works or Bharani works. Now, Aryaman does not like instructions. Okay, if you give him instructions, he'll be unhappy. He would not want to do it. Do not give any instructions and just tell him this is the work that has to be done. He'll be the most happiest person. You figure it out the way you want it. Okay, he'll be the most happiest person. But if you tell him, look, these are all the steps that you need to follow and do a job, Aryaman is going to be unhappy because he thinks it's a free thing. Okay, let me do the job the way I want it. I cannot do a job like this. Okay, because he's Aryaman, not a stable marriage or want to remain unmarried. Now, exactly opposite of it is he wants to stay in the marriage no matter how much ever the relationship is bad. I mean, take an example of an alcoholic husband. I mean, I don't know how much this can be relevant today. However, I'm just giving you an example. So, an alcoholic husband trying to beat the woman every day, if the woman has got a very active, Purva Phalguni, the woman would stay forever, despite the fact that it should be, broken, but she would stay back because she wants to remain married. She's constantly looking at, let us suppose by any chance she got a divorce, she would keep running once again to get married as fast as possible and want to remain married. He does not want to remain, unmarried. Okay. Then Yama is extremely knowledgeable. He has read all the Dharma Shastras because Yudhishthira is called as Dharma Raja. Okay. You know why he is called Dharma Raja? Because he's the child of Yama Dharma Raja. Yama has the other name which is called Yama Dharma Raja. So he has understood all the Dharma Shastras and he can recite all of them, follow all of them very clearly. Exactly opposite of that is this person, Purva Phalguni or Aryaman, does not want to understand a lot of things unless what is written and given to him. Like, let us suppose this person signs a contract. So the contract says, let us suppose if the contract is broken by the opposite party, he has to pay me 100% more than what actually will be delivered after the execution of a contract. Okay, this may seem like a very illegal thing, but Aryaman would keep saying, "Look, I have written this in the contract. You have to go back and read it for yourself. Why have you not read it?" Okay, so he is trying to look at it only with the document that he is possessing, not trying to look at what is the whole picture about it. I'm not saying Aryaman is an illegal man and Yama is a very legal man. No, don't get into that context. Yama has understood all of the Dharma Shastras. Aryaman does not care so much about the Dharma Shastras, but would look at what would work for him at that juncture. Because if you look at Arjuna, he was he was constantly being accompanied by a person called Krishna, who has been mischievous, who has been moving the lines here and there, what is right and what is wrong across the yuga. Because when Dwapar Yuga was happening, if you look at the life of Krishna, he has many times changed what dharma is and what adharma is. What is dharma in Treta Yuga, or what is the dharma in the previous yuga, the Kruta Yuga or the Treta Yuga, did not happen to be the dharma in the Dwapar Yuga because of Krishna. He has changed a lot of rules. Okay, if you read those things, you'll understand it. Because if you look at the warfare that they have done, Ashwadhama Hataha, Iti Kunjaraha, all that stuff, It was all fed by Krishna to the Pandavas. Okay, I'm not saying Krishna is on the adharma side. Don't get into the extremes of learning something. Try to stand at the center, okay, and try to look at it like a rishi. Do not look at these things like a standard person who is who is doing all nonsense every day. Have yourself elevated to the next level and look at it from the rishi's point of view, because all these shastras are written by rishis at their level. You have to climb up to their level and understand. Do not look at things at a very, very, very low level or a grassroots level and try to understand, look up to the sky and understand. No, you have to reach that level of the rishi and look at it downwards. Okay. Hope I'm making some sense. So I mean, any day extremity is bad. So do not look at on the extreme side of it. Have a center feeling and then try to relate things. Now I have come back to Aryaman. So this man is a friend who brings you the bride. Now Yama is an enemy kind of a person who is actually taking away your married life, because death is going to end everything. But Aryaman is a starting point of something which is going to change your life, right? You have a very good Aryaman or a very good Purva Phalguni. A lot of things are going to change in life, because after you have attained a marriable age and you are going to get married, let's look at a person who's just got married for 6 months ago and look at him today. If you think the person has changed, yes, he has changed a little bit. For sure, he will change because he has got a wife now. And let's suppose the wife is a very quarrelsome lady and all his life is gone. Okay, I mean, either way, I mean, do not think I'm trying to say it from a man's angle. It can happen for women as well. I mean, she's got married, she's got a very quarrelsome husband, a person who doesn't understand any of her emotions. It becomes very difficult for her to actually to you know to continue life. So this Aryaman is the person who is going to get you the bride. Okay, in case of women, it's the opposite thing, right? So the symbols are hammock, which are for hammock is something like this. I'll show you symbol. So hammock is something like this. So usually on the beach sides, you can see hammocks where people are sleeping over it or relaxing over it. That's one symbol. And the other symbol is front legs of a bed. Like, the bed is there. You have four legs for it. The first two legs of it is called as the Purva Phalguni. And you also have a female rat. These are the symbols. So what would all of these would indicate as a hammock is for relaxation. The person is relaxing. Okay. Yama is constantly working. Aryaman is constantly relaxing. He's trying to make contracts with people and he's looking at relaxing. Okay. He does not want to work continuously. He wants to have several breaks. Okay. I mean, there's nothing wrong in that. Do not think Aryaman is bad and Yama is good. That's just their nature. Somebody who is not taking a holiday at all in his life, not reaching home at all, in time. Somebody has to finish his work by 6:30 and reach his home by about 7 o'clock or whatever time is allotted for him. You get to see a lot of people who are working till 10:30, 11 o'clock, and then reaching home after that, spoiling all his personal life. Wife is unhappy. What has he achieved in his life? Nothing. Okay. However, if you look at the other side of it, from to the Purva Phalguni side, this person always cares for his family. He looks at his family is the first thing, which is quite okay, because priorities in life are different. I mean, do not try to make one guy a hero and the other guy a bad guy. Okay, it can be both the sides, because there is bad on both the sides. There is good on both the sides. Okay, so in case of Bharani, the wife is constantly complaining. This man is not reaching home. I don't know what he's trying to achieve in his lab, because these people are generally scientists or trying to achieve a mission or something in case of Bharani. Whereas in case of Aryaman, they are trying to achieve it at home. Okay. They are trying to lead a very ideal life at home. They want their they want her, let's suppose it's a woman's chart. She wants her husband to be home every day on time, spend some time with her and children, keep talking to, and then have nice dinner, sleep, go back to work once again in the morning, and then have a balanced life, or sometimes having more personal life, take off frequently, visit places, because Yama does not want to visit any place. He wants to stay at that place. If somebody wants to meet him, only everybody has to go and meet him. Nobody he is going to personally go and visit. Whereas in case of Aryaman would like to go off from his place, visit, maybe go to Kashmir today, to go to Kanyakumari, maybe after 2 months or so, depending on the kind of wealth or person he is. Okay, and this is a Ugra Nakshatra or a Cruel Nakshatra. Okay, what would Ugra or a Cruel Nakshatra would mean is these are the nakshatras that are going to teach you life lessons. Okay, do not think Ugra Nakshatra or a Cruel Nakshatra is bad, or a Kshipra Laghu Nakshatra is very good. No Nakshatra is good, no Nakshatra is bad. Entirely no Nakshatra is good, entirely no Nakshatra is bad. As long as you are living in sync, in the synchronization with the Nakshatras, every Nakshatra is very good. Okay, the nickname is, as I said, the fruit of the tree. So if you do karma in a life, you are going to get the karma phala, right? Karma phala. Phala would mean fruit, or karma phal, if you want to say it in Hindi, karma phal. So there is a vruksha. Vruksha means the tree. Okay, there is a karma vruksha, of which every life or every janma you have a fruit coming out of the tree. That's called as prarabdha. Prarabdha karma, we call it. The three levels of karma, people understand it. The sanchita, and there is prarabdha here. Okay. So agami is what we do today, and then what comes back to us in the next life. So we have sanchita, that is a stored karma, prarabdha, that comes out in this life, and then you have the agami. Agami means that we are going to do later, right? All right. I mean, there can be differences in the definitions. Don't worry about too much on the definitions side, because these are Sanskrit words and they can carry hundreds of meanings. Foundation above is wife. Foundation below is husband. Okay. Somebody who is trying to have a child. If you have seen the previous nakshatra, the Magha, we have seen that Pitrunam Rudantaha. Okay. That's the mantra of Magha. Pitrunam Magha Rudantaha Parastat Apabhramsho Apavastat. That was the mantra of Magha. So, how we talked about the Pitrurina, how are we going to get rid of Pitrurina is by having children. So, this one would deal with getting married and having a child. So, for you to have a child, this is the nakshatra to get married. I mean, do not think first came the kids and then came the marriage. So do not think the order is wrong. No, it's not like that. Because it's the reverse actually. All the nakshatras came out in the reverse. I mean, it's a difficult concept to explain. However, do not worry about the order of the things. Okay, so uh, this deals with the marriage. So somebody liking someone, getting into a marriage, staying in marriage, happily married, could be divorced, want to marry once again, the zeal to get remain married and having a sexual partner. Okay, that is the theme of the life, so that they make a family, and they also would have the final desire, that is the Shakti is the Prajanana Shakti. Okay, Praja Anana. You must have listened, you must have heard words like Gajanana, Gaja Anana. That means one who has an elephant head. So Praja Anana. That means one who wants to be the head of the Praja. Praja would mean people. So he wants to be surrounded around with people, and he wants to be the head of the Praja. That means he wants to lead all the people, because Arjuna has always led the war, and he was thinking that, look, I'm Arjuna. the warrior, and I'm going to lead the whole team and get my people into success. That is when Krishna stopped him and said, look, Arjuna, you don't have to be worried that all your people are getting killed. Look at the Vishwarupa. This is the Vishwarupam, and this is the Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna gave him Bhagavad Gita, and what Arjuna was thinking is all myth, and he has busted all the myth of Arjuna and got him onto proper track. So in the Purva Phalguni, Arjuna is a little, what is the right word for it? Little Ajnani. Ajnani, what is the right word in English? Can somebody help me out, please? Not having enough knowledge, right? Is there the right word?
Ignorant.
Yeah, that's right. Ajnani, ignorant. This man was a lot ignorant. Thank you for the word. I keep forgetting the vocabulary. Keep helping me with that. So the ignorant Arjuna was constantly thinking that I'm going to kill all these people, and it's a lot sinful thing. Why I should be waging a war against my own, cousins. That's when the Bhagavad Gita happened. So this person is a little egoistic. Okay, this person is constantly thinking. I mean, it may not show up like an ego always. However, there is one part of his life which he does not have. In Sanskrit it's called as the Laukika Jnana, the one who does not understand the world. Okay, there are a few set of rules on which the world runs, the material world runs, and he's a lot ignorant. The Purva Phalguni man is a lot ignorant on the facts that how the world runs, and that myth is busted by Krishna. And later on, Arjuna became Uttara Phalguni, wherein the ignorance is all gone, and now the person is a lot matured. Okay, so this person, the Purva Phalguni, is a lot ignorant, and Uttara Phalguni, after having heard the Gita, is a lot, knowledgeable. I don't know what's the right word, exact opposite for ignorance. Whatever comes up. All right. So yes, so the Shakti or the final desire, if you look at, so this man is looking at I have to be treated like God by all the people. My thing is I have to lead all the people, and everybody should think like I'm the God. When you look back into the culture anywhere about 2,000 years ago, the the king, right? Whoever rules the king was called as Prabhu, right? Prabhu was the king. What would Prabhu would translate into God, right? So whoever rules a set of people was called as king, and he was referred to like God. Many people were thinking he is the God because he's trying to rule all of us. So that is what this nakshatra is all about. Wants to rule everyone, but he is a lot friendly. Okay, he's going to make friends. He's going to help around everyone. Okay, it's not that he's just earning it's not like a bonded labor and a zamindar and a bonded labor. No, it's not like that. He's trying to help out people. However, the intention behind it is I'm trying to help out people and I need more respect. Treat me like God. Okay, you tell me what the problem is, I'm going to solve it in a jiffy. Okay, this is what Purva Phalguni will think. But a lot of times the ignorance of Purva Phalguni is they cannot solve those things in a jiffy. Okay, and they get stuck. If Purva Phalguni is very afflicted, it means that very stuck. And the other problem is the timeliness, because Yama is called as Kala. Okay, Kala. Whatever happens on time, I don't know if anything will happen on time or not in this life, but for sure there is one thing which is definitely going to happen on time in this life. That is the death. Because if there is a birth for a person, what is for sure to happen is the death. Everything else is uncertain. If you look at the Tattva, this is very clear that if there is birth, there is death. Okay, the same way, because we call this world as Jagat, Jagat, because Jayate eti gachati. Okay, because that came out is going to go away. Jayate eti gachati is Jagat. Jagat means the world. All right. Sorry, I don't look at chat much, so do not try to sell me out. Enlightened, okay, enlightened. Thank you for the word. I don't look at chat. Please open up your mics and you can say that. I'll not feel any interrupted at all. Okay, don't worry on it because I've written everything out here and I'm trying to explain it to you. All right. So if you look at Aryaman, Aryaman is one of those 12 Adityas because we have different Adityas that are 12 Adityas who are the sons of Aditi. Aditi is a very common name in the North India. So Aditi is nothing but the divine mother who's the wife of Kashyapa Prajapati. They were the first people who have actually populated the earth. Kashyapa Prajapati and Aditi. These people were populating the earth, and in the first process, they have created the Devatas or the Devas. And in the process of Devas, they have created 33 people, of which 12 are Adityas, 8 are Vasus, 11 are Rudras, and 2 are Ashwins, of which Adityas are the most powerful. Okay, I mean, anyway, all the 33 gods are very powerful and they have their job to do. I mean, a particular god is designated for a particular thing. So it's an equal distribution among all the gods. So our religion is a little different. It's not like a single god thing. So we have departments for each of the thing, and each department is ruled by one deity. So it's a lot easier. I mean, like the corporate world works, right, today. So we have HR department, we go to HR for our personal things or leave thing or anything that's not very official. Or we have the engineering department, we have the other procurement department, whatever department we work in, the kind of industry we are in, we have departments for sure. Same is here. So each Rashi has an Aditya. I mean, some may disagree that look, Rashis are not ruled by Adityas. Rashis, in fact, do not exist. Rashi is a myth. Uh, unless there is something that we have to benchmark, unless we assume something, like even in the engineering, we keep assuming, like, let's say this is X, and then we derive X. Unless we hold on to something or we cling on to something, there is no way we can get our things going. So it's important to have something to stick with. So, I mean, if you do not know this, forget it. And if you have heard that no Rashis are not there and things like that, don't worry too much about it. Rashis are there. In that, there are nakshatras. So, in that, there are planets. That's what we are going about as Vedic thing. Yes, I agree that Rashis are not constant. They will change in the next 1 lakh years. So let's talk about the next 100 years, 200 years, or 300 years, or 400 years. They're not going to go anywhere. They're going to go at the same place, remain at the same place. Now, each Rashi has an Aditya. Aries is Dhata, Taurus is Aryaman, Gemini is uh, Mitra, and Leo is Indra, Virgo is Vaivasvan, Libra is Pushan, Scorpio is Parjanya, and even there are debates about the names of the Adityas. Uh, I'm not into any debates, okay? I do not like debates. If there is a material in that, if there is a content in that, check it up, understand it from a different perspective, okay? All of the rishis have looked at different perspective, and in our culture, it is good always to debate only to understand a different perspective, not to, say, no, no, this is wrong, this is right. Nothing is wrong, nothing is right. And everything is wrong and everything is right. You take this for anything. So if you look at Aryaman, this is a Taurus thing. So Aryaman represents Taurus, which would mean money, resources, all the four M's that we talk about in the management. Four M's are like the man, material, machine, and the money. Everything comes out from Aryaman. Okay. So if the Aryaman is unhappy, he's going to trouble you across all the four M's. Like, you don't have a good personal life, not enough money, nothing is happening on time because Yama is meant for time and Aryama is meant for delaying or you know making it even early. So the other mantra that we usually do in Sandhya Vandana every day, this is Om Shamno Mitrasyam Varunaha Shamno Bhavat Varyaman. You can see Mitra and Varuna. These are invoked in the mantras. Whenever we do Sandhya Vandana every day, whoever does this, the Brahmins would do, and none of the mantras have the deities like Shiva, Vishnu, Parvati. Those deities we don't have in the mantras, real mantras. These mantras are based on Adityas. See, Mitra is an Aditya, Varuna is an Aditya, Aryaman is an Aditya, Indra is an Aditya, Brahaspati is also one, Vishnu is also one. These are all Aditya names. These are the solar deities. Actually, these are the names of suns which are in the sky, or just the same sun which is taking different forms based on the season and the time. Okay, we will get to know each of them slowly. Okay. Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Ritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmam Avatu Tadvaktaram Avatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. The whole meaning of this mantra is you are the only gods. You are the people who have to be invoked. You are the Brahma. You are the Ruta. Ruta means the cosmic order. You are the Satya. That means the final god. The final god is the Mitra, the Varuna, the Aryaman, the Indra, the Brihaspati, the Vishnu, and the Urukraman. I mean, do not confuse yourselves with the Vishnu, the kind of Vishnu that we would see today. This is not the same Vishnu. This is the Veda Vishnu, we call it. He's an Aditya. Okay, we'll talk about it during the Shravana Nakshatra. He's not Vishnu. I mean, as in the same Vishnu we are today doing the puja. He's Vamana Vishnu. He's a different deity. We'll talk about him today. Not many would worship Vishnu as Vamana. I mean, I don't think anybody is doing the worship of Vishnu as Vamana. Okay. Aryaman is the third child of Kashyapa and Aditi. Okay. The first is the Indra. The last is the Vishnu or the Vamana. Okay. Because Indra is the first, he's called as the eldest, which is represented by the Jyeshtha Nakshatra. Aryaman is the third child. So he is representing the third house representations, which are documents, communication, making friends, and the environment, neighbors, most importantly, the documents. Okay. And he is a close friend, neighbor, playfellow, companion, life partner. I mean, life partner as in somebody who is very close, like life partner. Somebody जो यार है, we keep saying in Hindi is यार. Okay. And he's depicted as the mid-morning sun. So if you look at the 10:30 to 11:30 a.m. sun, he is that sun. Okay, so Adityas are like the kind of time that they are running in. If you look at this mantra, Varuna, right? If I talk about Varuna, you'll understand it even better. Varuna rules the midnight sun. Okay, so there is no sun at all at midnight because you can't see the sun. You can hardly see any sun at. I mean, not any sun. You cannot see at all the sun. So that's the time when Varuna is ruling. Okay. And the kind of time which Aryaman is ruling is the time at which it is 10:30, 11:30, that time, just before the midday. It's called as the mid-morning sun. What do we do at this time is what signifies that. So what do we do at this time? We're going to go to office, talk about what we have done yesterday and what is to be done today. Planning is done, and then we are working on it because we're trying to reach office at about 8:30 or 9 or whatever time, and the time between 10:30 and 11:30 is time to earn money, right? So this man would represent the four M's, as I said, four resources: men, material, machine, and money. So this man represents laziness. Okay, यार 10:30 हो गया, चाय पीने का time है. Let's have a tea break. Okay, laziness. This can represent that as well. Most of the times, this man is muted, okay, and he looks at reasoning internally. So somebody has planets in Aryaman. He has a muted attitude, does not want to talk too much to people. He is trying to reason for whatever is happening internally and trying to understand why is this happening? Why is this happening? Okay. And he's a very accommodative person. He's going to let you live. He'll live for himself. He'll let you live, not trying to bind people with this law and that law, because Yama is the person who's trying to establish laws in the world and would say, okay, this is right and this is wrong. You do this, you're committing a sin. I'm writing with the use of Chitragupta. Okay, Chitragupta, please keep writing whatever sins are being committed here by this person, because these are the laws established. Okay, that was one more trait of Yama. I think I've missed on those traits. Once I got to see here, I suddenly struck me. So this man, Aryaman, is exactly opposite. He is going to sit on the fence and carefully observe. Okay, keep going, because there is a thin line between what is a sin and what is not. It's very difficult to define sometimes. Okay, so do not try to judge people using the limited knowledge that we have. I mean, somebody might be doing something. I mean, this is usually done by kids, right? Somebody is trying to be a hero or somebody is trying to be a villain. As we grow and as we age, we would think, oh, okay, it's important for everyone to do this. I mean, you cannot live without doing this particular sin. There are a few things like that. Like, let's suppose you're working in a company. Okay, that's a sin. You know why? Because you're not allowing another person to come and occupy that job. Okay. If you're talking at the sin level, okay, if you're talking sin is a sin and right is a right, wrong is a wrong, then even working in a company earning money for yourself is also wrong, because you're trying to deny the money to other person. Because if you leave the job, somebody else will come and occupy that position. So you're committing a sin. But you have to do that sin. There is no way. Otherwise, you cannot live. So such things are there. So what Krishna is comfortably doing here is he's sitting on a fence and trying to see what are you doing. Okay, let me keep observing. I'm not going to define laws here like Yama did. You have to decide whether it is the right thing or the wrong thing. Keep doing. So you know what is right and what is wrong. Who am I to establish that? That's what the Krishna is doing. Okay. I mean, if you look at that subtle level, that's what I'm trying to do. So the Aryaman Pandha, that is what I'm talking about. The Pandha means the way, the path. Okay? Pandha. This is a Sanskrit word. Same word exists in Telugu. I believe the core Hindi people would also understand what a Pandha means. Pandha means a Padhati or the way of life. Okay. So Aryaman Pandha, that's what I just said. He's trying to sit on the fence and trying to observe what are you doing in a specific situation and trying to understand, are you going towards the same thing or are you trying to be clean enough? Okay. And he's ruling all the documentations that you're making in case of contracts. So afflictions here would mean the documents are not right. Somebody's trying to blackmail you on the documentation. You have closed your eyes and signed the documentation where you got stuck. Okay. Or you need to receive a document which is not coming out. You have to be medically fit for your job, and there is something wrong with the medical thing. You're not receiving your employment letter. Okay. Anything, your house documents, got missed. Yeah, there is a big rain that came, and all your documents got washed away. Okay. Anything that can happen for the documents, or all of your documents are completely in order. There is no problem with the documents, and you're very specific about documentation. You need the document in hand. That's when you will talk. Okay. That can also be shown up by Aryaman. All right. So Aryamanaha Purve Phalguni Jaya Parasthat Rishabho Avasthat. So what I usually leave out is Parasthat and Avasthat. These are the two words that I always leave out because these appear in all the mantras. Okay, now leaving out all those two mantras, those two words, Parastat and Avastat, I have Aryamanaha, Purva Phalguni, Jaya, and Rishabho. These are the four words that come out. So this man, Aryamana, he is a friendly deity. He is going to bring you the right spouse for you. Because if you have done a big sin in life, okay, in the last life, past life, if you have got a very troublesome spouse, okay, that's enough. The kind of punishment you're going to receive is huge, right? Everybody can understand that. Because on the personal side, if somebody is suffering, then more than half of your life you're at home because you reach home by about 7 o'clock or so. Next day morning at 8 o'clock, you want to go out for work if you're working. If you don't work, then all 24 hours you're at home. So if you've got a troublesome spouse, that is going to deal with everything that any sin that you have committed in the past life. Okay, hope people understood what I meant. All right. So this man is going to rule that thing. He is going to get the right bride for you depending on the good and the bad that you have done in the past life. Okay. So do not try to scold your wife or your husband, or don't say anything to them because she or he came into your life because of what you have done in the previous life. Nobody can help it. That's because of your karma. You cannot blame her or him for it. It's very difficult to remain like that because we are all human, uh, and uh, and we always keep or throw the blame onto somebody else. I don't think it is wrong as well because that's how people are. All right. So Purve Phalguni, the star Purva Phalguni. Phalguna is Arjuna. Purve means before. The immature mindset of Arjuna before listening to Bhagavad Gita. So there are two things that can happen here. One is everything that is happening before time or after time. That means, let us suppose somebody has to start his work, right? Usually, when do a person go to employment? He would go at about 22, 23, 24, 25 at that age. But if your 11th Lord or 11th connections are there with Purve Phalguni, the Purva Phalguni thing is in the 11th. I mean, either the 11th Cusp, the 11th Lord, or the 11th Lord Dispositor that gets into Purva Phalguni. Means that you are into a job either very early in life or you are at very, very late in life. Okay. Because that's ruled by Ari Yama. Yama is on time. This man is never on time, either very early or very, very late. So even if you call him onto a function or something, he's either 40 minutes early or he's late by 40 minutes. He cannot come by time. Okay. Jaya. So Jaya would mean uh, a wife in which you are going to appear once again. Okay, this is simply understood like, why do you get a wife? It's because you have to continue your lineage. Okay, Atma vai putra namasi. This is what is it? Is the sentence? Atma vai putra namasi. Because you cannot live in this world forever. What is happening is you are marrying and you are uniting with your wife to produce a child just to have yourself once again on the earth. So it is just yourself. You are exactly the mirror of your father, and your kid is exactly the mirror of your own self. Okay, because you cannot live further, you are trying to implant yourself on the earth once again. Okay, I mean, the kind of word they are using, look at Jaya. Why didn't he use Bharya, or why didn't he use any other synonyms for wife? Patni, he can use Patni. Why has he used Jaya? That's because the idea of this star is to have a sexual relationship with wife. Okay. The idea is to have better Magha, because if your Purva Phalguni is good, your Magha will be automatically better. That means you have a dharmic wife, your relations are clean, you have a proper relationship with your wife, then you have a proper kid. If the wife and husband are constantly quarreling, then you have your Magha is also afflicted because your kids come out from Magha because of the Aryaman. Okay. This is all a chain thing. Okay. If you understand how these things are all related, you can pick up anything and relate it to any of these stars, and you can do wonders with them. Rishabho, ox. Okay, what has Arjuna done? Okay, this man Arjuna is he's been like a he's been thinking, look, if I kill if I kill Dronacharya, if I kill Bhishma, if I kill this man, if I kill that man, um, you know, why I should be killing all these people? Let me not do anything. Take a leave and sit. Okay. Krishna came back and said, look, you're not killing anyone. Look at me. Look at into me. You have all the Kurukshetra already done. Your Dharmaraja is on the chair, on the throne. He's ruling the whole country, and everybody is lying dead here. Can you see that? Yes, I can see that. So you are just a nimitta matra. That means you are just doing your job like an ox. Okay, just go back and do your job. So what is important in this nakshatra is trying to do your job like an ox without having to worry about anything. However, this also would mean Rishabho can also mean a monkey. Okay, so monkey cannot, if you look at the monkey, it cannot stand just like that. It is jumping here and there onto different branches. Whatever it comes across, it is trying to jumping here and there. Okay, so these people are like, they keep jumping here and there. They cannot stand constantly. They are little ignorant, immature, childlike. Monkey is like a child thing, right? It keeps jumping. It can't understand how to behave in a civilized society and stuff like that. So there can be some civic sense missing. Okay, sometimes this person does not understand how to behave in a civic, uh, in a complete civic sense. I'm not meaning everybody is going to have this, but some kind of knowledge about the civil society. He's lacking a little bit on that. So what is important is for Yama, everything happens on time, and for Ariyama, nothing happens on time. This is the biggest challenge that one has to deal with in case of Ariyama. Okay, because nothing happens in time. Either it is too early, too late. Somebody getting a divorce at 60 years after having lived with the wife for about 40 years. They have been together for 40 years and then they got a divorce. That's Aryama. Okay. Somebody who has got a job at 15 and then he got retired at 40, Aryama. Okay. Somebody who left education to pursue job and then left job once again, came back into education, then he finished education, then got into job, ultimately got delayed marriage, everything got delayed, you know, because marriage is delayed, childbirth is delayed, because without marriage, you cannot have children, right? I'm not talking about the very, very developed societies, but they also still have some rules and conduct. So pardon me just in case somebody is offended with that. So unless you have a marriage, then you have kids. So everything gets delayed because your education is delayed. Okay, just look at what's happening around, and this can deal with that. Okay, immaturity. But one good thing is this brings out a lot of prosperity at old age, because I forgot to tell you one more thing for the ox thing. An ox is a symbol of prosperity. Okay, but there are huge responsibilities. This man, Arjuna, has got everything. Okay, he has taken all the responsibility on his own head and defeated everyone in the Kurukshetra war. And what finally did he do? He gave the whole kingdom to his brother, who was Yudhishthira. Right? He did not keep it with himself. So this person has a huge responsibility. Yes, he must have remained a very good in a very good position in the kingdom. However, his idea is to help a lot of people and have the responsibility on himself. Okay. So he's trying to actually wage wars against people for the betterment of somebody else. Okay. You can also think it in that way. That's what Arjuna did. Somebody is like, struggling. Just, why he's struggling? Because he's trying to help his people and his family. I can remember of a girl. who got married at 13, 12, 13 years of age. Because ninth connections, if you see, it means that the marriage is at a very early age or a very very low age, or a very high age. So you have the ninth cusp, ninth lord, or ninth dispositor in Aryaman. He may get married, or she may get married at like 12 years old. I know a girl. She's not very old even. I think she's hardly 40 or 42. She got married at the age of 11 or 12. Okay. I mean, you can assume the kind of society we are living in India. If somebody gets married at 12 years of age, it will be a news for us. You wouldn't see much. She got married at 12, had kids at 15. I know she's facing a lot of difficulties, but she is very happy to serve all the responsibilities for the betterment of the family. Okay, she's not. If you go back and ask her how are you, she would always say, "I'm very good and very happy." Okay. So what is important is all the good can happen, like I have said in the past. Maybe Magha must have told you, or if not, you may know it now, that there is a blockage till the time somebody has. Yeah, I must have definitely told this in Magha. So in Magha, till the time you get kids, you are not very lucky. Till the time you are married and you have a sexual partner, till that time you're not very lucky. In the case of uh, Purva Phalguni. Okay. And this person lives in a dream world. This person has a very dreamy thing. Everywhere he looks at dreams, because this person is asleep, right? When you go to when you go to the symbols, he's relaxing. What would the person who is on a bed or a hammock would do? He has closed his eyes. He's not understanding what is happening around him. Okay, he has no knowledge of what is happening around him. All the kids who are around him are playing, they are growing up, but this person is actually sleeping. He does not understand anything. What is happening around him? He's living in a different world. Okay, this is what is all about Purva Phalguni. Because Phalguna thought he's killing everyone, right? He's living in a different world. Now Krishna has shown him the real world. Look, you are just a nimitta matra, and you are only killing because they are already killed by him. And I cannot show it to the physical world, so you are just showing it as a physical world. Okay? I mean, you can pull out as many meanings out of this particular Vishwarupa thing. Okay. So female rat, reproduction. So what is important in this is because all these stars are in Leo. Okay, you look at Leo. Leo is the fifth house from the natural zodiac. The Mesha starts with the first house. The Aries is the first house. So you have Leo in the fifth house. So fifth house Leo would deal with children. Fifth house is for children. Everybody knows that. So this one deals with children as well. Okay. So whatever work you have done, you are very tired, and in the evening you need a lot of rest. So this person must be doing a lot of work, and he'll be very tired, and he would need a lot of rest. And if you have afflictions here, it is very difficult to get rest. This person is constantly working. Okay, that's the problem. All right, I think I have covered more or less the whole significations. So, any questions, comments? I would be happy to answer. I think it took a lot of time today. Age 15, it's already. So, are you seeing the results to be coming? Do you think the results are matching? Any feedback on that?
Hello, sir. I think, yes, I can relate to Purva Phalguni. My
Okay.
Lagna is in Purva Phalguni, and some of the things that you said, prosperity after marriage, I have felt that. And I think that I didn't know until I got into astrology, but this kind of makes sense. My life is completely different before and after marriage. And the other thing that you said, everything gets late, right? And there's a break in education. So I did my undergrad, then I worked for 4-5 years, and then I did my master's again. So that was also correct
Okay.
for Purva Phalguni. So a lot of things I could relate. A little bit lazy. So yeah, I can admit to it as well. So yes.
Okay, you must be needing breaks very often. You would want to go to vacation very often. Is that right?
Yes, yes. I would like to, but that doesn't happen. But even in my day-to-day work,
Yeah, the
even when I'm
liking thing. I
working,
mean,
I take break. I definitely take breaks, and yes, that's true. A lot of traits do match.
good to hear. Okay. Anything which you think did not match at all, which did not come at all?
Not in this one, sir. But maybe I had a couple of questions about Mrigasira. I can wait till the end if I can ask later.
All right. So let the whole feedback view just in case anybody else wants to ask something. Let's finish off this nakshatra. You may ask your questions. Any more people with comments or questions?
Yes, sir. I have Capricorn Lagna and Venus is in Purva Phalguni. So timing is really good. I got into employment much early in life, like at the age of 19. And then I took a break. Then, yeah, again, I get back to work maybe after 15 to 20 years or so. So, yeah. So that thing is the timing, either early or too late. And prosperity after marriage is also the thing that I have seen.
Okay. Okay. I mean, don't be afraid. Nobody is experts here. I'm only trying to seek feedback from whatever I have got. So don't think some expert is teaching. Every day I'm learning. So don't think whatever I predict is all right. Nothing for no one it happens. Okay, everybody has uh, his own pitfalls. So I've been doing this for 25 years now. Although nakshatras I have learned about 5 6 years ago. Till the time I was based mostly on the divisional charts. So after having learned divisional charts and everything, I have been ignoring the D1 chart for quite a long time. So I have been thinking why none of the results of the D1 chart are working, because I often used to wonder, somebody has the seventh lord in the eighth house, somebody has the seventh lord in the fifth house. Many a times, what we would think is, I mean, by general principles, if you see somebody who has got seventh lord and fifth house, his life should be very good with respect to marriage. And somebody who has seventh lord in the eighth house, life should be very bad with respect to marriage. But 90% of the times, always reverse happened. I mean, somebody who has seventh lord in the eighth house, marriage flourished very well. Seventh lord in the fifth house, marriage was having a problem. I mean, none of the rules could explain it to me. Once I got into nakshatras, that's when okay, those things have actually answered. Were all answered, and it made more sense for me to get into the divisional charts. And as a confirmation today, I use divisional charts, and that brings the whole picture onto the ground. And even if somewhere something is wrong, I mean, if let us suppose we calculate something wrong in the D1, we go into the divisional charts. If something else shows up, then we can quickly come back and see what is wrong in the D1. Did we see it correctly or not? So that happens, like a check, double check, and a cross check thing. I mean, which fascinated me very much. That's why these classes, so that whatever I know, I'm trying to teach to people. So don't think anybody is an expert or nobody is doing mistakes. In fact, I also do a lot of mistakes. I mean, don't be afraid. That's what I mean to say. Any feedback on the nakshatra? Okay. Yes, ma'am. You can ask your question. I generally do not want to call anybody by name, but
Yeah. Yeah, sorry. Sir, I wanted to understand the difference between a Taurus Mrigashira and a Gemini Mrigashira.
Okay. All right. So let me bring up Let me bring up Mrigasira. Okay, anybody would want to answer this, please? I'll be happy if somebody can show up. Anybody wants to answer what is the difference between the Taurus Mrigasira and the Gemini Mrigasira? By the way, it's a good question. Okay, I'll answer it for you. I mean, look at the second house traits. What would the second house represent? It would represent money, family, eating, drinking, all this. Okay.
Yes.
Mrigasira has different traits. So somebody is running behind money. It's Taurus. I mean, if you ask me in one word, Taurus is money, Gemini is communication, or Gemini
Yes.
is Lord in because Gemini lords everything. Because Mars is the one who starts the first Rashi. Gemini is the one where Mars gets the signification. Okay. Gemini is looking at power. Taurus is looking at money. Okay.
Okay.
If you ask me in one single word, Taurus is money, Gemini is power.
Okay.
And if you dig in further, pick up all the significations of the second house and the third house and try to apply whatever fits into Mrigasira. Like the second house trait is one is Soma, right? Somasya Anvaka. Soma would mean drinking liquor. So somebody who is interested in drinking, okay, that can be one possible. However, there have to be afflictions. There have to be planets like Venus, Moon, who represent the Soma, right? Because liquid is the Soma. So you have to have Venus, second lord, Moon, Saturn afflictions, and stuff like that to have the liquor thing. And if somebody is behind money or somebody is behind the power, what is he behind? So that will also depend on the thing. But what I would usually suggest is always use the Lagna first. Always use Lagna because even if let's suppose you have a planet called whatever pick a planet. Even if you pick Moon, okay, Moon is the fastest thing of all the planets. So even if you pick up Moon, the traits of uh, the Taurus and the Gemini can be very different if you place Lagna in a different place. So more than Gemini Taurus, always use Lagna. That is going to give you a bigger thing, bigger picture than just having the Gemini Taurus thing. The problem with Gemini Taurus thing is you're trying to generalize everything and looking at it from an angle which is already been served, straight away to you. Nothing in the astrology is going to work straight away. What worked in the previous chat, there is no rule that it will work 100% here. Because that's where the Yogamaya comes up every time and says, okay, you've learned this principle, let me challenge you once again. That's why I'm trying to teach you the concept. I mean, a lot of people, what they don't teach is how they are arriving at this prediction. A lot of people must have taught this already to you. If you go to YouTube, many people have taught this. But why they are not being grasped is they're not teaching the logic behind it. If you know the logic, it's easy to apply. I mean, whatever I know, I'm trying to teach. So, why I said this is because it may not appeal to you that, what I have said for Taurus or Gemini may not be working at all because your Lagna is completely different. The kind of Lagna that you look at is very different.
Okay.
But by and large, Taurus would represent Taurus, Gemini would represent Gemini. That is the second house and the third house. If you want to generalize. But I discourage generalization.
Okay.
Sir, what is Yogamaya you always mention?
Yeah. What is Yogamaya? Yogamaya is, when you look at the Krishna, right? The birth of Krishna, at that point in time, there was a woman killed in the place of Krishna. She is Yogamaya. So Yogamaya is trying to run the world into the material thing. And to simplify this in simple terms, if you ask me, Yogamaya is something which is keeping us on the earth. Because everybody knows that nothing is Shashwata, nothing is going to remain in this world. You're going today to an office, getting money, you're doing everything in the material world. And you all know the material world is not the final world because we're all Hindus, so we know about that stuff. Everybody is taught at home as well. So only in this life, this is your mother, this is your wife, this is your father, this is your kid, this is your thing. In the next life, they're not going to be ours, right? But Yoga Maya pushes us back into the world and keeps saying, look, this body is you, this money is yours, this wife is yours, these kids are your kids, those are not your kids. You may do injustice to people who do not belong to you. This is what Yoga Maya drives you, right? So that's the Maya, Yoga Maya. And she's making you believe that this is the yoga and the Maya around it. Okay.
Okay,
Or
sir.
the person who is actually trying to uh, okay, somebody wrote the bubble of illusion. Yeah, illusion is the thing, is the right word. But Yogamaya is not only that. Yogamaya is trying to throw challenges in front of you. Even Yogamaya will do that. Let us suppose you are learning a subject called astrology and you are predicting very well. Okay, Yogamaya is going to kick in and say, okay, I'm throwing you a different challenge. How would she kick in? You will get a horoscope wherein you cannot understand anything. You must have just solved 10 horoscopes in front of everyone. And the 11th one would kick in and say, nothing is working in that horoscope. Whatever prediction you're making, everything is failing. Okay, that's Yoga Maya. Because you're trying to apply rules, because once you mastered, let us suppose one technique you mastered, you applied on 5 charts and thought that, wow, this works like a gem. Let me apply it on the 6th chart. Okay, it fails miserably. Nothing works there. The client would say, nothing, whatever you said is not working at all. Never happened to me. You're predicting something wrong. That's Yoga Maya. Hope you got what I said.
Yes, sir.
Anybody has more feedback? Somebody tried to open up the mic and went back.
Sir, are nakshatras too inimical to like each other? Some nakshatras are inimical to each other. And another thing is, which nakshatras are ruled by Brahma or related to Brahma?
So, if I have understood your question correctly, I'm answering the second question first because I understood that relatively better. So, you're saying which nakshatras are related to Brahma? Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Why do you? I mean, what is the logic behind it? I've not understood the logic of asking this question. So, what is it you're trying to conclude from that?
No, sir. Today we were talking about Yama. So you said that he's totally dependent on Brahma for his orders. So that's why it just popped in my mind. No
Okay,
particular reason.
Brahma is the Prajapati, that is the Rohini. We have not covered Rohini in this. I mean, we did the class, but unfortunately, what happened was Rohini. We did not record the class. We forgot recording it, so we have to do that once again. So Rohini is Brahma.
Okay, sir.
What was your other question? Sorry, I missed out it completely.
So maybe it was a stupid question. I was asking that like some planets are inimical to each other. Like Mars is not very friendly with Mercury. So does the same rules applies to nakshatras as well, nakshatra deities as well?
Why do you think this is a stupid question? This is the most intelligent question. Just now I have said Ari Yama is actually opposing Yama. So it's a very excellent question. Look at it. If you have let's suppose there is a house which you are studying right now. You want to understand the 5th house or maybe 7th house. Okay. You have the 7th Lord in Aryaman or the Purva Phalguni. And you have the seventh lord dispositor in Bharani. Okay. They're working on opposite things. One is pulling onto one side, the other one is pulling onto the other side. Hope you got it.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so seventh lord in Purva Phalguni would mean there is a delay in marriage, or there is a person whom you're going to marry who's not known to you at all. Okay, because Purva Phalguni, because Yama is you're going to marry a person who you know already. Okay, or he's a cousin of yours. In the South India, it's common across marriages and cousins. However, it is going off right now. There can be a family friend that shows Yama or the Bharani. Okay,
Mm.
or it may mean very incest thing for you in the North India, but it's very common here in the South India to get married to cousins. Okay, I mean, do not take any offense in anything, because nothing is right or nothing is wrong. Whereas in
Yes.
case of Aryaman, the person is not known to you. You do not know the person. Okay, so it will be both now. Or the marriage would not last, is what Yama would say. The marriage has to last, is what the Purva Phalguni will say. Okay, they are pulling it oppositely. Hope you understood what I said. So this person is
Yes.
actually getting grinded between situations. So today he will say, I am going to divorce you. Tomorrow he'll say, no, I'll live with you. It's a very excellent question. You invoke the thought process inside of me. I would say that.
So
What do you
just
think?
like Aryaman and Yama, there are more Nakshatra deities like this
Yes,
in months. Okay, sir.
yes. We have to draw out each thing, because these are straightforward looking thing. I mean, Ari Yama, that's why we understood this is exactly opposite to Yama. But based on the characteristics they are representing, we have to draw lines for ourselves and say, okay, this is opposite of that star and that is opposite of this star. We'll
Okay,
get
sir.
into those things slowly, but try to get the concept digested for this. Apply into charts. Maybe a few things will work, a few things will not work. This thing has to happen, otherwise you cannot learn. Because the objective of the classes is not to portray what I know, but to teach people how something has to be understood. Because I did not get the right people when I was learning, and it took me like 25 years. What could be learned in 4 or 5 years? It has taken me 25 years to understand the whole thing. I'm trying to teach the right way, or an orderly thing wherein you can learn. I mean, this is what I think. I might still be wrong, or I'm trying to teach what I know.
Okay, so
कोई और सवाल? You still have more questions? You said you've got a lot of questions which you want to ask. Don't be afraid. कोई भी सवाल silly नहीं है. I mean, don't forget all of that. Ask whatever question you have.
no, sir, I researched them myself, Googled them, and found them on YouTube
Okay.
along the week.
यार हमको भी बता. I mean, tell us as well. I mean, you would also know, right? Why should you be only enlightened? The whole class
I
should be
will bring
enlightened.
more, I will bring more. Don't worry, sir.
What is the question that you had in your mind? One question, please.
No, sir, I was there was one question too. I don't remember what it was. It was very basic kind of question about Mrigasira. But I wanted to share one example of my cousin who had Atmakarka in Ashlesha. So you said you mentioned in the last video of Ashlesha only that a person with prominent Ashlesha is good at dancing. So she is good at dancing, and she is learning Kathak only. And Kathak too has three schools basically. One is of and the school she is learning is the one where Krishna dances on that huge snake. So
Okay, Kali Mardana. Okay. Mm.
yeah. So that I wanted to share. I forgot my questions because I researched them all over the week myself. So
Okay.
they were very
Good.
basic questions. Yes, sir.
I mean, don't think anything is basic or anything. You're also at the basics. Okay, somebody else has a question. Unless you have more questions, I'll give the opportunity to somebody else.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Go ahead.
Okay, sir. Sir, I just wanted to know that in which year this will get activated, this nakshatra, and what prominent event in the life of that person can be expected during this activation
I'm
of
not,
this nakshatra?
I'm not teaching all that in the first round. Let us complete all the 27 nakshatras because the activation
Okay,
ages of nakshatras, even if you search in the Google, a lot of people are given activation ages. None of them are working
right.
correctly. Okay, I'm
Okay,
doing it for myself. Let me be sure before I tell it to the people because when I teach it to people, I have to be sure that yes, these are all the activation ages of all the nakshatras, and these are going to work it like this. And I think there is no standard age at which the nakshatra is activated. They are dependent again on a few things, which I'm actually making up a sheet or something like that, wherein you can get the activation age based on the lagna and a few planets.
okay, sir.
But
That
as
was
a
clear, sir.
thumb
Thank
rule,
you.
you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
say nothing is on time in the case of Purva Phalguni. So somebody is either very early for it or very late for it. That's it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Sir, which planets are
So,
good in this Purva Nakshatra, which means Moon, Mercury? Like,
And you have to be a little louder. I couldn't follow what your question was.
no, I said which planets are good for Purva Bhadra?
Purva
Like
Phalguni. Planets are
to
good.
reach, yeah.
Uh, as I said, I mean, general statements are very bad at looking at. I mean, if I say
Mhm.
sun is good, so you would think sun is very good. Sun can be bad, depending on. I have not answered for moon. She's asked for Mrigasira. Wherein can you say which one is for the moon? Because problem with the kind of because if I make such a statement, what you will think is, oh, Ravi is very good in. I mean, sun is very good in Purva
Okay.
Phalguni.
Mm-hmm.
I do not want to pass that message.
Got it.
In any nakshatra,
Mm-hmm.
even if you have good planets, okay,
Mm-hmm.
even if you have good planets here, one thing is for sure is that particular signification is taking a hit on time. Okay, you have the 11th lord. Let us suppose the 11th lord is there. So it
Mm-hmm.
means that your job is not on time,
Mm-hmm.
right? Or every time you want to break on your job, when you're earning very well, you think, I want to quit now. I don't want money. Okay, I will
Mm-hmm.
quit now because I don't want money. Now, after having lost all the money, you have drained all your bank balance. Then you would think, no, no, I would need money. Let me work.
Mm-hmm.
Then you are rigorously working. Okay, so any planet here is going to show up its signification in that particular area. I mean, always use lordship with the
Okay.
signification. I don't think anything is coming. If I tell you Ravi would, I mean, sun would mean father, moon would
Mm-hmm.
mean mother, Mars would mean brother. I don't think they
Yes.
are working.
Okay.
If you teach something, they have to work flawlessly. If there are flaws in one horoscope, it works, and in 90 horoscope, it won't work. What is the point in teaching?
Okay. Got it. And one more thing, these nakshatras that we are considering going through, when you get horoscope perspective, you will have to look from the lagna or from the moon position nakshatra. Like
Always look
suppose
at always
from
look at
the
from the lagna. From the lagna, let us suppose
Mhm.
I don't know which lagna do you prefer? Tell me one lagna.
take Ashlesha. We have recently had so many questions.
Okay,
Right?
we are talking about Cancer lagna now. Okay,
Yeah.
Cancer
Mhm.
lagna. You have in the second house you have Purva. Okay,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
so it is about the second house things.
Mm-hmm.
Starting up a family. Okay, your
Okay.
family will be starting up either very early or you're going to start up your family very late. What does that mean is there are quarrels in the family for whatever reason. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
somebody is actually trying to stop yourself from starting a family. There are quarrels in the family. You do not want to. Somebody do not want to unite. Okay, because there is unity in the family, right? The mother, father, brother. That's one for one family. The other
Mm-hmm.
family is you, your spouse, your children, and all that stuff, your in-laws, and that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So there are not enough cordial relationships between the in-laws and the parents. This can be one possibility if the second house is afflicted in case of cancer. What is it trying to do? Your parents are trying to pull you from the, I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not saying it for you, you in the sense the native, whoever is the Cancer, Lagna,
Okay.
and the second house is here.
Mhm.
Parents are pulling you away from starting up a family because they do not like your in-laws. They got you married, and then they realize that no, these people do not belong to our thing, the kind of people we are, and they're stopping you from uniting. Okay, this can be one thing.
Okay.
And the second is storing wealth. Let us suppose you want to have savings, right? Because second house deals with savings. Either you are too very early into savings or you are too very late into savings. Okay.
Okay.
And the other thing is, second house is the sixth house from the ninth house. So your father may not have had a right start in life and in time, or maybe he started very late. Okay, very early job for father, or very late job for father, or he keeps taking breaks very early. I mean, he keeps taking very often breaks. Okay, sorry for the language. The father is taking a lot of breaks in life or from the office. So he's working for 5 years, sleeping at home for 3 years. Going wealth is all gone, and then again he's restarted. If it is afflicted, okay. If it is
Okay.
not, if it is not, you have got a very excellent family. Everything is going right very much for you, and everything is perfect for you, which is not very usual in case of Purva Phalguni, because Purva Phalguni comes with the Purva Janma's traits, and always every person must have committed something wrong for sure, no matter how much ever he has been a sage or something in the previous life. Everybody would be committing some sins, and they will get something here on the negative side, because Purva Phalguni is a little negative or little cruel nakshatra, which is going to teach you life lessons. I mean, if you think they are that is doing good for you, it is teaching a life lesson to you. So it will be harsh on you, hard on you.
Okay.
Okay. Did you get the answer?
Yeah, got it.
You agree with the answer, or you think it does not work?
No, I don't agree.
Thanks. Okay. As I said, I'm not. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Somebody else has a question?
Sir, can you go over
yes.
you used to go over each house signification as well, right? Like what
Okay.
happens if
You
the
want to
third
listen?
house
Okay. You
sits
want to
like
listen from the thing again? Okay. So first house, as I said, the time thing. Okay. Timely. I mean, either everything is happening late or everything is very early, or there can be many breaks. And somebody who is looking at ruling everyone, because the Prajana Shakti. And what these people are trying to do is they are trying to feed many people. They think I can feed a lot of people. I'm earning good money. Let me feed. Let me feed the needy. Okay, this is one more trait. You can look at. I'm sorry, as I said, I'm not looking at any of the messages. Okay. Okay. If you want to say something, just wait for the turn. You will get a turn. It's not a big class, so easily we can talk. There's nothing that you will not get a chance for sure, because it will be useful for everyone if you talk on the mic. So first thing is first Lord Dispositor, first Lord Cusp. You have this. I do not want to generalize this, okay, because there can be so many things which I must have. I'm not using any planets here, so I'm just using just the cusps or something which I have in mind, and I went on writing. So do not take these things as uh, hard and fast. And this person is very good at partying. Okay, the other trait which I have forgot to tell is that partying, interest in partying, meeting a lot of people. Hey, let's do a party. Let's throw a party to the people. Let's feed 10 more people this time. Okay, this can be like, a person, do not think party would mean alcohol or something. I did not mean it. Party would mean a gathering wherein food is served, and this person is actually trying to serve people and trying to earn their respect, because I have served food. Let people respect me because I have served food. Okay, or it may not be there at all. Okay, one thing for sure is he's trying to head the whole thing. That is what is the understanding. The second thing is, I just said about the second house. There can be fights in the family. It's very common. If you take Indira Gandhi's chart, you understand the kind of family life he had, because nobody knows who the in-laws of Indira Gandhi were. Okay, real parents of Firoz Gandhi were missing, and Gandhiji adopted this man Firoz Gandhi. So they thought that the people are not. The in-laws are not. They do not fit into this house. So they did not talk to each other. Okay, I have nothing against any of the political people. I'm just trying to quote uh, one particular incident. Okay, don't take me wrong. If somebody is a Congress supporter or a BJP supporter, don't take me wrong here. So I have nothing against anyone, because people do anything for a reason, and everything is pre-written, is what I think. Yeah, I do believe in karma for sure, but even the karma is driven by the Yoga Maya. So money is good here. Not usually money is afflicted. Usually the relation between the wife and the husband is what is usually afflicted. So something is an affliction here. I think the relationship with the husband is bad, because second house can also deal with the relationship between the family members. So most of the times what happens is the relationship between the wife and the husband is very good. They don't have any problem. But the parents are actually trying to separate them. Okay. In case of second. And third house is all about the documentation part. Somebody has the third house thing, because Aryaman rules over the documentation. So somebody must be planning very poorly or not having a strategy, because third house deals with the strategy. And he keeps changing strategies, and he may not be having the right documents at the right time. Maybe he needs the document on time to achieve something, and that document goes missing, and he will not have that document on time. Or because the document came on the right time, this fellow is very successful. It can happen both ways. Okay. Or it can be mixed. Some documents did not come, life got hit. Some documents came on time, life became good. Both can happen. So there can be struggles relating to fourth house. So mother may be showing ego. Maybe mother may be a little immature. She does not know दुनियादारी पता नहीं है. She does not know how to deal with the worldly things. Okay. As I said, maybe it may not apply at all. Somebody might come back and say, no, my mother is perfectly fine. She knows very well how to deal with people and all that stuff. Some things are not very visible easily. Okay. So the same mother can be having this prajana shakti, like she is inviting everyone home, trying to feed everyone, and wants to be called like God. One needs respect from all of them whom she's feeding to. Okay, because the nakshatras, the traits are so many, it can be any one of them. So when you put planets into it, that's when you will realize, okay, this is what is the trait coming up. Okay. Fifth house. So there is either a big gap between children, or the child is not coming out. Okay, fifth house. So the first child, the childbirth is delayed, or somebody has a child today and 20 years later another child comes out. Sixth house. Health issues can crop up very early in life or very late in life. Okay, or they may be having debts to pay. Okay, somebody has got debts, and they are responsible for those debts, and they have to pay them back, because maybe father has died early or something, and there are debts over this man. Okay, or nothing happened. It's just the routine work. Somebody is very lazy to do the routine work. Sixth house would show routine work. This fellow is very lazy, does not want to work on time. Okay. And he will repent for it later on, because today he's not doing the job. So A sixth house can do a bad thing, and sixth house can do a very, very lazy thing. I mean, he's got everything in life. He doesn't need to work at all. Okay, and he's sleeping on a couch. Even that can be possible. Okay, seventh house. Usually, what I have seen complaining, I mean, a lot of people complain is this fellow is so immature. Okay, if a woman has seventh lord in Purva Phalguni, or a man has, because this particular nakshatra talks about Jaya. Jaya would mean the wife. Okay, so this talks more about the wife-husband relationship. So it means it talks about the seventh house and the second house, things like that. Okay, so when you have the seventh house connections, this fellow is going to complain on the spouse that how can be she so immature? Why is she not able to understand that this is the life? You have to deal it this way, that way. She should be making big statements for the partner, or he would be making big statements for the partner. They don't understand each other. They are living in a different planes. Okay, one is very intelligent, and the partner is not so much. Okay, this is the complaint. This may not be the reality. Just follow things like that. The person who has got the seventh lord in Purva Phalguni thinks that the spouse is immature. It may not be the truth. It's from his perspective. You know why? Because we are talking it from with respect to his lagna. Okay, somebody might be very, very intelligent, but he may not appeal to you like an intelligent. So don't get carried away with the thing. Eighth house can mean inheritance. Okay, so inheritance is very delayed. Somebody is expecting inheritance. The documents for inheritance, they are very delayed because they are fighting a case in the court. Can be things like that. Or the in-laws are very immature. They're not trying to accommodate you well. Okay. And ninth house would definitely mean the marriage thing. I mean, your marriage is delayed for sure. Ninth house, because officially, if you look at it's not the seventh house, because seventh house would mean a partner. Ninth house would mean a marriage. That's why we look at Navamsha for marriage. D9. Ninth house is for fortune, marriage, everything. So it's mostly the ninth house is the event of marriage. Somebody must have heard this before. It is the event of marriage. So you call up everyone in your family on the other side as well, make an event, the wedding happens. That's called as the ninth house. So if your Purva Phalguni is placed into the ninth house, either by the cusp or the Lord or by the dispositor, most importantly, means that the marriage is going to be delayed. 10th house and the 11th house would mean either a very early job or a very late job. 12th house, immaturely spending and then repenting for it. He may not be earning, because 11th house and 12th house would actually mean the same. So somebody is not earning rightly and immaturely earning and immaturely spending. I would still say tread with caution. Not all the results are going to come up and match. Okay. So yes, sir, I'm done with the houses, just in case you have a question from the houses. It's just a request that talk about the houses. Is that so, or is there a question around it?
Actually, my ninth lord is in Purva Phalguni. I got the onset opportunity very, very late. It was supposed to be close to some 5 years earlier, but so I was just wondered if ninth house was related to any, I mean, on-site opportunity.
Yes,
for an abroad.
So it can be ninth house as well. Yes.
Okay.
Ninth house would deal with foreign as well. That's why I'm saying so. You cannot write all the significations of ninth house and keep writing what can happen for it. I mean, it will never end. Not even one nakshatra we can talk about. It will take like 24 hours for sure. If you're talking for all of the significations that represent the ninth house, or even one single house, I don't think we can get all the significations up here. So you have to know significations and you have to apply them. Or we can make one class wherein, we talk about all the significations offered by each house. I mean, even though we do that, there will still be more significations left out. But we'll do that once all the nakshatras are over. Just Google them out, what significations that you have for each house. Even there are classics as well. What nakshatra, what houses are representing what signification. Okay. Any more questions that people have?
Sir,
Hi,
I
sir.
have.
Yeah, one by one. Don't worry. Maybe just one of you start.
Should I?
Yeah.
Sir, I have two questions here. First is like this nakshatra shows front legs of a coat.
Mhm.
What is the meaning of hiding the other two? Why it is like front legs only? Is that like I might have missed, but is there any
Well,
reason for
because
that?
the second two legs are going to come only after you win the war, right? Right now, Arjuna is only listened up to the Bhagavad Gita, and he has understood. Okay, now I have to wage a war and win the war, right?
Okay. Okay.
That comes in the Uttara Phalguni. I'll explain what are the hind legs for the thing in the next class. Then you'll understand the whole stuff.
Okay, sir. And sir, the other question is like we have 4 padas in each nakshatra.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how much
The
they are
results are
important in the prediction?
very much important. The results are very different if you have in different padas. They are going to be extremely different. But if I talk about padas now, as I said, the class is going to take quite long, and you will forget what significations are there for Purva Phalguni. You will only apply padas, and you will forget all the significations of Purva Phalguni. So what I'm doing is I'm covering all the 27 nakshatras and then talking around it. And you just try to practice them, come back with questions for Purva Phalguni in general. Maybe 50, 60, 70% things will work, or even 80% things will work, because these are all general predictions, what Purva Phalguni can do. Now, what Purva Phalguni first pada can give will be a lot different than the second and the third and the fourth. They all are going to be different. This we will teach in the next round of the nakshatras.
Okay, sir. Makes sense. Thank you.
If I try to teach you everything in one go, you will do not remember anything.
Exactly, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. The other person had a question.
Yes, sir. So for Leo Lagna, you said that this Purva Phalguni is all about timing, right? Breaks, timing, and all. So what if Ketu is in Purva Phalguni? Will it make any difference? Because Ketu itself is a timed and breaks. It represents both are
Okay.
related to breaks, right?
No. Okay. I'll tell you one more thing. Okay. Now you'll change what is about Ketu. Look, Ketu is the significator of the 10th house. Can you believe it? Is there anybody who knows that Ketu is the significator of 10th house in the class?
No.
Okay. So Ketu is the significator of
Natural
10th house.
zodiac.
How come in the natural zodiac?
Natural zodiac, it's 8th house, Scorpio.
Eighth house. Yeah. Sorry.
I'm saying 10th house, Ketu represents, or Ketu actually signifies the 10th house. You know why? Because what did Krishna say? 10th house is the karma house. Do the karma. Do not expect the phala. Okay, be detached. So Ketu brings the detachment with the karma. Just do the karma. Do not expect the phala. So Ketu Ketu is not going to give you just breaks. Okay? Ketu can also give you a very good thing. Ketu can, if you look at the mantra of Ketu, which I have taught you last time in the class, Telugu class, if you look at that mantra, Phalasha Pushpa Sankasam Taraka Grahamastakam Raudram Raudratmakam Ghoram Tam Ketum Pranamamya. See, somebody who has a head is the Rahu or any other person. This man, Ketu, does not have a head. What is his head? The Taraka and the Graha. They are all they became the Mastaka. Mastaka means the head. Taraka means the stars. Graha means the planets. So all the stars and the planets are his head. So somebody has a head, has only one head. Somebody has no head, has all the heads in the world. Okay, hope you understood what I said. So do not think Ketu can bring you only breaks. Ketu can bring you super enlightenment. He is going to put you into a different realm of the whole thing. So it's very difficult to generalize and say Ketu is going to break it up. I have not seen that to be working. I have seen excellent results with Ketu. Okay. For that reason, I'm saying it's very difficult to generalize and say, I mean, that's what the mind would need because it would need patterns to draw up. Otherwise, how would I learn is what you would keep thinking. But the problem with me is if I try to teach that and if it sits on your mind, it's definitely difficult to get rid of it. It won't go if you can't wash it. So have that open mind thing. I mean, not every time Ketu is going to bring you only troubles. It can also bring you a very spiritual couple. Okay.
Okay, sir. This is all a new kind of a new dimension. I was really surprised. Learn Ketu is like
Yeah, Ketu is a significant of the 10th house. Yes, that's what the Gita Acharya said.
oh
Yeah,
okay.
the first significator of 10th house is Ketu. Then comes anybody else. Then comes Mercury actually. First significator is Ketu, and exactly opposite things Mercury and Ketu would do. In the material world, it's the Mercury that comes up. In the spiritual world, it's the Ketu that comes up. That's why you have the Gandantas, which are ruled by Mercury and Ketu. All the last stars are ruled by Mercury because Mercury is looking at, look, you are going to stay in this world forever. Okay. Do not worry about people dying around you. You will remain here. Don't worry. Keep earning, keep committing sins, do whatever it takes for you to sustain life. That's what Vishnu is, right? Mercury, the Adhidevata, is Vishnu. Vishnu is the sustainer. For you to sustain it, suppose you are hungry, okay, and you keep thinking about what is right, what is wrong, what is dharma, what is adharma. Is it going to feed you with food? No, right? You have to find a way wherein you can feed yourself and your family. So would you keep looking at what is dharma or adharma at that point in time? You cannot, as an average man. Okay, you are a very elevated soul. What are you inviting? You're inviting death, right? So what Mercury would do is keep doing. Okay, don't worry about sin, this, that. You have to sustain yourself. That's what Mercury teaches. So for you to be materialistically doing something, the 10th house significator is Mercury. For you to get detached from the world and talk about do the karma, not expect the fruits, then you are a Ketu person. Both are actually significators. And first significator is Ketu. And if you can use both the significators at the right point in time, you will be both spiritual and also be materialistically earning. That's what I would say. And do both. Use both. When God has given you both Ketu and Mercury, why do you leave Ketu and why do you think Ketu is a bad man? Why do you rate Ketu as a wrong planet? Ketu is also good, equally good, actually more good. That's why Ketu comes first before Mercury. Making sense?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
More questions? All right. It's been 2 hours. Let's stop here. Okay, somebody keeps sending messages here. Okay, life in general is good, harsh. Okay. That's all about Purva Phalguni, okay? Life can be harsh and stuff like that. But it will keep teaching you life lessons. These lessons are very important. So,
Agreed, sir.
yeah, these lessons are very important. Otherwise, the ignorance is not going to go.
Yes. 100% agree.
All right. Thank you once again.